Hello and welcome to this mt4 webinar. My name is Zoe Fides and I work in the London office for easy-forex. Before I go ahead, I have to say that anything I teach you today cannot be taken as advice. It is for educational purposes only. So this webinar is going to be a guide to using mt4. It's not a guide to trading. It's so that you know about all the features of mt4 and how to use them in your trading. So first of all, if you haven't yet downloaded an mt4 platform, you can do so from our webpage, easy-forex.com. Go to Trading Platforms, where you'll find easy-forex mt4, and by clicking on this download button and running that, within a couple of minutes, the mt4 platform will be downloaded and it will appear as this icon on your desktop. So here you go. This is the mt4 platform that you have in front of you. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. So first of all, let me just give you a guide with the different features and apps of the platform. In the top left-hand corner here, we have something called the Market Watch. Now this is where all your prices appear. You can customize this. To do so, you would go to Market Watch, do a right-hand click, and here you can click on Show All, which will show every single possible pair you can trade on mt4. Or if you want to do this more specifically, go to Symbols, and let's say I wanted to add a pair that's not there. For example, this one's grayed out Swiss franc to Australian dollar. Click on it, click Show, Close, and that will now appear. Okay, so it's fully customizable. Just looking down here, you can see that you can trade gold, oil, and also you can trade silver on this. So if I do Show All, it'll show me every single pair I can trade on mt4. Okay, the next box just below, this is called the Navigator window. Some of the stuff is repeated in here, but at the top you have your accounts. So this is very important. In the Accounts section, you'll see green jacket represents the demo account, and the yellow jacket represents a live account. So always make sure you know which account you're trading in. To flip between accounts, all you have to do is double-click on the account that you want to trade in, and it will appear. And just to be absolutely sure, so you know, you can look at the top and it will give you the number that you're in. Okay, you don't want to get your live and your demo mixed up. Also in this box, we have indicators, expert advisors, custom indicators, and scripts. Indicators you can add somewhere else, and I'll show you later. Expert advisors is something specific to the mt4 platform. It's where you can add a robot to generate signals or execute trades automatically for you. I'm not going to go into the complete details of Expert Advisor today. I'm going to concentrate more on using mt4 to trade without them. Okay, the next section, the terminal. The terminal has a few different features. First of all, this is where your open trades and orders will appear under the Trade tab. The next tab, Account History. This shows every single trade that you've executed and that has been closed. Now in Account History, you can actually pull up a statement, which is a very useful report. So if I custom the period to just in the last month, so I'm only going to look at closed trades in the last month, and then I go to Saved Detailed Report. I can save that, and you can see the report appears like this. It shows me every single trade that I've executed. As well as showing me all the trade details that have been closed, it also gives me the statistics of my account. Here is a chart of the balance. So how has my balance changed over time? And we've got some other stats here. So it's a good way to analyze your trading. Okay, the News tab. This is going to be very useful to you whilst you're trading. It's a feed of the Trading Central trade signals, which are available on our website, but they feed directly into here. And also a feed of Market News International, which is again available on our website, but rather than you having to go to our website, we just feed it straight into here for you. So if we have a look at the top one, you just double click on it and it will open up and it will give you the information. Here's a sterling to US dollar trade signal. Okay. Now, alerts. This tab can be used to set yourself alerts so you can be alerted when the price gets to a certain level. As you can see at the moment, I've set myself an alert for when sterling dollar on the sell side, the bid side, goes above 158.70. And when that happens, the alert will signal and mt4 will make a sound. To set an alert, you just do a right-hand click, go to Create, choose the currency pair that you're interested in. Okay, change the condition and put in the value. Select the alert type, and if you only want it to remind you or alert you 10 times, you can put it as 10, or if you want it to be alerted a lot more than that, in case you're away from your computer, you can increase that amount. Click on OK, and that will set that for you. To get rid of an alert, you just double click on it and click on cancel. Do a right-hand click on the alert and go to delete, and you can modify it in that way as well. Okay, the mailbox. This is just general updates. So if anything is happening on mt4 that you need to know about, then we'll send you an email in here. And the journal tab is just every single action that happens on your account. So every time you log in, you will be able to find it here. So you'll mainly be using the first 4 tabs on here. Okay, so let's go to the charts now. I'm just going to move into a demo account. Okay, so it'll give you that sound when you change accounts, and you can see that the layout stays exactly the same. And I can see here that I am in my demo account by matching up the IDs. Okay, so the charts are the main feature of the mt4 platform. They're very easy to use and very easy to change and save. First of all, when you first open a demo account, the charts will appear something like this. In fact, you'll have multiple charts. To just break this down into viewing one chart at a time, you either double click on the tab at the bottom here, or you can double click on the top blue bar. Now you can see, so each of the charts now appear in tabs at the bottom. But if you want to view multiple charts at the same time, you just double click on the tab again, and you can actually play around with the sizes here. So everything on this platform you can actually change in size. Okay, and to go back to it, just double click again. If you want to add a new chart, so the chart, you want to keep all of these charts and you want another additional tab on the end there, you just go to this top left-hand corner and add the chart that you want to look at. Okay, a new chart looks like this. You can see that it's got grid lines in the background. So let's say you want to change the look of this chart. You just do a right-hand click on the chart and you've got several different options here. I personally don't like the grid lines, so I will get rid of them. And you've got other options as well, so you can save the picture of the chart in case you wanted to send it to a friend that's also trading and you want to show him what you're trading and the indicators that you're looking at. You can obviously print it. Under the properties box here, you can actually customize the colors of the chart. And under this common tab, you have a few more options. One thing you should be aware of is that this line here, which is the live price, is the bid price, so the price is to sell. If you want to also view the price to buy on your chart, just click Show Ask Line and click on OK, and this will appear on your chart. Okay, so always bear in mind that the live price moving around on the chart is the bid, the sell price. Okay, so there are a few different types of charts that you can use in the trading world. You've got a line chart, bar chart, and candlestick chart. Now to change this on your mt4 chart, you just use these small tabs at the top here. If you click on the line, the bar, and candlesticks. So it's very easy to change between the three, sorry. If you want to zoom in, you can do so using these. You can scroll back at any time, backwards and forwards. Okay, so I'll leave it in the candlestick chart for the moment. Next, I want to show you the time frames. How do you change the time frames of the candles that you're viewing? Well, you use these buttons up here. If I was to click on M1, that stands for 1 minute. So now each candlestick represents 1 minute of price movement. This is the closest view that you can get on mt4. M5 is obviously 5 minutes, M15, 15 minutes, and so on. So you can see as I'm clicking out to larger time periods, I'm seeing a longer period of price movement. H1, 1 hour. H4, 4 hours. D1 is the daily. So now I'm getting a very big picture of what's happening. See, I'm going back all the way to August here. W1, weekly, so now each bar represents a week worth of price movement, and MN is the monthly. Okay, that's going back a very long time, all the way back to 2001. And actually, what's one of the good features about mt4 is that on most of the pairs that you can trade, you can go back a very long way. So if you did want to do any back testing of a strategy or an expert advisor, then you can do so. Okay, I'll put it back to our hourly chart. So let's have a look at trading now. How do we actually execute a trade? Okay, well, there's 3 ways of getting to the open order ticket. You can either do it via the chart, so right-hand click on the chart, go to Trading New Order, and it'll bring up the order ticket. You can click up here, and it'll bring up an order ticket. Or, and this is my preference, you can go to the symbols box and just double-click on the pair that you want to trade. So, for example, Australian to US dollar, double-click, and I get the order ticket. So, what have we got in the order ticket? Well, obviously, we have the symbol, the product we want to trade. The volume. This is very important. You need to know what the volume stands for in the pair that you're trading. If you're trading an FX product, then a volume of 1, which represents 1 lot, that's the name for it, is 100,000 of the first currency in that pair. So a volume of 1 in this case is 100,000 Australian dollars, which means that every time the price moves by 1 pip, I'm either making or losing 10 US dollars. So if you want to trade a smaller amount, you can change that volume. So obviously if 1 equals 100,000, 0.1 equals 10,000. which is equivalent to $1 per point in your trading. And you can in fact go down to 0.01, which is just 1,000 Australian dollars. Let's stick to one lot. Okay, but if you're trading in gold, silver, oil, or any of the indices, the definition of one lot is slightly different because these are traded in contracts and ounces. So if you're trading in gold, then one lot will equal 100 ounces. So 10 ounces obviously equals 0.1 of a lot. If you're trading in silver, one lot will be 1,000 ounces. So 0.1 will be 100 ounces. If you're trading oil, 100 barrels equals one lot. So if you want to trade just 10 barrels, then trade 0.1. And if you're trading the indices, then, for example, the FTSE, one lot equals 10 contracts. Okay, so do be aware of what the volume stands for in the pairs that you're trading. Okay, next, you can actually add a comment to your trade. This is very useful if you're testing a new strategy or you want to analyze your trading over time. So for example, if there's a particular strategy I use called the RSI strategy, and that's the reason I'm executing this trade, I could just put that in the comment box. And then when I want to go back and analyze my trades and see what's working, see what's not working, then I can refer to the comment box. Okay, the type of order. Now you've got two choices here. The type of order is either going to be market execution, which means you're opening the trade there and then on the prices that you see, or you may want to do a pending order. So a pending order is an order you put in the market to buy or sell at a certain level. Let's go back to the market execution. Once you're happy with everything that you've set up here, you can either choose to sell or buy. And you click on what you want to do. So I'm going to sell Australian dollar to US dollar here. The order will, if the order goes through, then you will get a notification that it's been successful. And you just need to click on OK. Now, this order will then appear in your terminal under trade. Here we have the order. This is a live order. So everything happening on here will update. You will be able to see your profit or loss 24 hours a day, and it will move as the market moves. So you can see I've sold one lot of Australian to US dollar at 1.0425. I don't have a stop loss or take profit on this order at the moment. The price I can currently close at is 1.0430. Zero commission. We don't charge commission on MT4. Swap points is at 0 at the moment, and I'll explain what swap points are in just a moment. And I'm currently losing $60 in this trade. Okay, so there's a few features of this open trade in terms of managing it. First of all, if I want to add a stop loss or take profit, I just double click in the stop loss or take profit box. And this will bring me up a ticket. Now, here I control the minimum level to place the stop loss or take profit. So at the moment I have 150. Which means the minimum distance I can place a stop loss on this trade is 150 points away. If I think that's too far, I can change it to 20. Same thing with the take profit. If I want to set myself parameters, I can change it. Now, once you've done that, you can either directly type in the stop loss level in this box, okay, likewise with the take profit, and you click on the modify button. Or, if you're happy with your levels that you've chosen here, you can just click on these copy as buttons And when I click on that, you'll see that the stop loss underneath automatically copies to that one, and same with that. So this is good because if you want to think about your stop loss and take profit in terms of points away from where the current market is, you can just use this. So if I want to risk 30 points but try to gain 30 points, I can just do 30, 30, copy as, and click on modify. And it's straight in order. And you can see now, here's my stop loss and here's my take profit. Okay, but I can, if I want to put an exact stop loss level, an exact take profit level, then I can also do that manually. So if I wanted to close this trade, I can do so at any time. I double click anywhere on the trade apart from the stop loss and take profit, and it brings me up with the order a ticket again, but this time with a yellow button, the close. So from here I could click close and the trade would close. Or I can add to this position. So if I want to sell a bit more, I could click on sell, or I could hedge against this position and go the opposite way and buy. So there's a few different options available here. I'm not going to close it just yet. So you can see at the moment that I made a comment on the trade when I opened it, but the comment isn't appearing in my live trade. So to make it appear, I just do a right-hand click in this white space, and I get comments ticked. And you can see here the comment has appeared at the end. It's the same in account history. Go to account history, do a right-hand click, click on comments, and anything here, it will appear, which will also appear in your statement. If you want a detailed report, you can get that there for your analysis. I obviously don't need that commission box, so I'll get rid of that too. Now let me just quickly talk about the swap. At the moment it's on 0. Because you're day trading, each evening if you have a trade open, it will automatically get swapped out and put back into the next day. It will get rolled over to the next day. The reason for that is because the expiry date of a day trade is next day, and rather than expiring your trade at a specific time, we will roll it for you and extend the expiry date so that you can choose to close it in your own time. But every time you do that, you're either going to pay or receive interest, and this is what the swap points are. It's 0 at the moment because it hasn't been swapped out at all yet. But if I look at this tomorrow morning and this trade is on, then I will have swap points here. If the swap points are negative, it means that I would have paid a bit of money to have the trade open. And if the swap points are positive, then it means that I would have received money overnight. And this is measured in pips. So if it says 1 in here, plus 1, it would mean that I've received 1 pip of my total trade. Now 1 pip of my total trade, my trade size is 100,000, 1 lot, and 1 pip of that is $10 US. So I would receive $10 US each night that I have this trade open. If it's obviously minus 1, I'd be paying $10. Okay, so keep an eye on that swap. And of course, if you need further explanation on that, we can do that for you in a training session. There's a couple of other things on here that are very useful. Okay, so if you were to right-hand click on the trade, if you wanted to, you could add what's called a trailing stop. So it means that your stop loss is no longer static. It will actually move with the open trade. So if your open trade is going further and further into profit, the trailing stop loss will follow behind that live rate, the market rate, and hence trapping your profit. So it's particularly good if you're trading in a trend and you're looking to follow that trend. So obviously you're not going to be able to watch your computer screen 24 hours a day, and you won't be able to move that stop manually all the time. So this is an automatic process that does that. So for example, if I want my stop loss to trail 25 points behind, I can just click on that And now you can see the stop loss is highlighted in yellow because it's now trailing. And this stop loss will always be 25 points behind the market, the live market. Now obviously if the live market moves in my favor and the trailing stop is moving with that live market rate, so it's 25 points behind. But then if the live market moves back, the trailing stop isn't then going to move back again, otherwise there'd be no point in having that stop loss on there. The trailing stop will stay at that best stop loss that it's made so far. So if it gets 25 point distance, then the market comes back. If the market then drops 25 points, it will hit you out. So it's still protecting you. And of course you can customize it. If you don't want it to be any of the options available there, you can customize and you can put the exact level of the trading stop loss in. I'd say if you are using a trading stop loss, be aware of the volatility of the product and the time frame that you're trading. Okay, lastly on the open trade, this is another very useful tool, right-clicking on the open trade to give this options menu and go to profit. So at the moment, my P&L is represented in my own currency of the account. So if this was a sterling account, my profit is minus £60 at the moment. If I want the P&L to be in the term currency, so that means, for example, if I'm trading Australian to US dollar, then it will be in US dollars, my P&L. Or if I'm trading dollar to Japanese yen, then the term currency will be the Japanese yen. Then I can change that. But this one here is particularly useful as points. Now, we all know that P&L, watching your P&L, is very bad for your psychology in trading. Your emotions are increased when you're losing money and also when you're making money. And we know that having good psychology and good discipline is very, very important. So to in the equity. So you can see that equity equals my balance, my total money in my account, minus any loss or plus any profit. So you could see this as your live equity, your live net balance of your account. Now margin is the amount of your own money that you have in trades. So it's a total deposits that you've got in all your trades that's locked away in trades. Free margin is your equity minus your margin. So the amount of money that's available for you to enter into trades. Now this margin level, which is a percentage, you can see it's 1,158% at the moment. This is equity divided by margin. So this one divided by this one. Now this is important because if you're trading without a stop loss or trading with a stop loss that's very far away, then you are opening yourself up to the risk of risking your entire account, the entire balance of your account. So margin level percentage is there to protect you. Now obviously if the market is moving against you, it means that your equity is falling. And because margin level is equity divided by margin, it means if equity is falling, your margin level percentage is also falling. So if the trades in your account are moving against you, further and further against you, generating a loss, the equity falls, the margin level falls. Now obviously when margin level is 100%, it means that the equity and the margin are equal. So if this equity now is 521, it would mean the margin level is 100%. Now it's when margin level falls below 100% that your account is in risk. So when margin level gets to 70%, the trade with the largest margin, or the trades with the largest margins, will start to highlight in red, and that's called a margin call. It's telling you, look, these trades may need to be closed soon. What you can do is you can either add more equity into your account, so you can deposit more money into your account to support those trades, or you can choose to close them. Otherwise, if they continue to fall, when the margin level equals 30%, so now your equity is only 30%, your margin, then the trades with the largest margins will be closed first automatically. So the platform will automatically close your trades to protect your account from going into negative equity. So there is this protection here in terms of margin level, but ideally you shouldn't trade like this. You should think about where your stop loss is going, and you should have an awareness of what deposits you're putting into trades, but it is there to protect you. Okay. One last thing whilst we're in this section. If you want to know what swap points you're going to receive or pay overnight before you execute a trade on different products, you can do that using another source here, which isn't available on here at the moment. If you go into View, this is where you can add or delete the windows that you're looking at on the platform. So for example, if I click on Navigator, it will get rid of my Navigator window. But if I want it back, I just go here, and there it is again. Okay. If you go to Strategy Tester, so it's appeared at the bottom here, this is particularly useful for using an expert advisor. So if you want to backtest this expert advisor, this robot, you can do it in this section. But if you don't use expert advisor, you can also come here to find out the properties of a product you want to trade. So for example, with Australian to US dollar, I select that in the symbol box. If I go to symbol properties, then it will tell me how much I'll pay or receive. It also gives me the contract size, which we were talking about before. Okay, so here, if I am long, so if I bought Australian to US dollar, I'll receive 0.81 of a pip. So I'll receive $8.10 if I bought this each night. But if I decide to sell Australian to US dollar I've held overnight, I'll be paying 1.01 pips, which is in this for one lot, that's equivalent to about $10. So you can actually check out how much you're paying or receiving before you enter the trade. So let's just have a look and see what other tools we have available on this platform. You can see up here we have these features. This is obviously the arrow that you can see. Crosshair. It's just as a guide, so if you want to see something a bit more specific in prices. Vertical line, so if you want to mark on a particular time. Horizontal line, so if you want to mark on support or resistance levels, highs, lows. Trend line, to use this you just click and then move this around. So you can go to a specific point. Channels. Again, in the same way, go to a specific point and move it around. And then if you want to make the channel, move the channel, or if you want to make it wider or smaller, you just go to that second line and move it. Click and drag. Fibonacci retracement. This indicator requires you to drag from the high to the low on the chart, and it will give you your Fibonacci retracement lines. Now you can see this chart's getting a little bit busy. I just want to show you though, if you go to another time frame, for example if I go to the daily, it'll still show me these lines. Or if I go to a smaller time frame like the M5, so 5 minutes, I've still got all my lines available on here. So it doesn't matter, you can move in different time frames and still see the lines that you've added to your chart. If I want to get rid of anything on here, I can click on it click on the line, and then do a right-hand click, and I just click delete. If I do a right-hand click on the chart and go to Objects List, this will show me everything that I've got on my chart. And if I want to specifically get rid of something, for example the Fibonacci here, I just tick that, click delete, and it should go. Okay, there you go. And lastly, we have these little objects here. This is for text. So if I want to write myself a note on the chart, I can do so. This is particularly good if you want to share your charts with someone else. I can also add different features here. Okay, so you can set yourself reminders where you want to place your stop loss, where you're looking to sell. So if you put a particular level on your chart where you're looking to sell, you can mark that on yourself. Again, if you need to delete anything, just go to it, double click on it, and click delete. Okay, and lastly, adding indicators. I'm just going to delete these lines here to make it a bit clearer. Okay, adding indicators to your chart. You need to go to Insert in the top menu here. Now there are about 85 different indicators, so you'll need to decide what indicators you want to use, and you just find the indicator in the drop down. Indicators can be grouped into trend, oscillators, volume, and so on. So you may find the indicator lies in one of these. Your favorite ones will actually be added to the top here. There's a shortcut. Okay, so if I wanted to add an oscillator such as the MACD, Moving Average Convergence Divergence, I'll just go to it. It will give me a box where I can change the parameters if I want to. I can also change the colors, okay, and various other things here. If I click on OK, then the indicator will appear on this chart. If I need to change anything in that indicator, I just do a right-hand click, and I can delete it, or I can go to Properties and brings up that box again. I can modify it. Okay, and one last thing about this platform before I go. As you can see, it's very easy to customize. From the colors you're looking at, to the indicators, to making notes on your trade, to bringing up a trade report, to changing how you view profit. So you can make this to completely suit how you want to trade, which is a fantastic feature of this platform. It also makes it more of a social experience. So if you know someone else that trades on mt4, you can easily share your ideas and email your ideas to each other by saving your screen. And it's very easy to direct someone into having the same indicator and the same signals as you. Once you've got used to this, you will start to have different setups, and you'll want to save this. So you would do that via this item here. So if you have one particular strategy, you can go and save it. Okay, and then that one's saved. So now I could work on all of this, and I can change all of this around and set it up for another strategy that I want to use, and save that, and I can go back to my original template at any time. So there you have it. That's a general guide to using mt4. If you have any questions for us, please email uktraining@easy-forex.com.